Here we have a private MySQL database hosted at Azure. This is a private database. It's not accessible from the internet in any way. It is only reachable inside the VNet where it's hosted. I'm going to show you how to use Remote.It to access that private MySQL database safely and securely from anywhere on demand. First, we'll generate a one-line command we'll use when we launch a VM at Azure to register that VM to our Remote.It account so it can serve as a private jump host to the database. Next, I'm going to launch a standard Linux VM in my virtual network. I have to make sure that I put that in the right subnet so that I can reach the database from this VM. I won't need any security group entries. Let's go to advanced. Now I'm going to use that command I generated in Remote.It. So I'm going to put that command right here in the user data. And we'll be ready to launch the instance. Let's go ahead and create it. Now, as soon as that instance boots, it's going to register itself to my Remote.It account and then be available to configure so I can reach the database directly. There it is, right here. So now let's go to our Remote.It account and look for it. Back in our Remote.It account, we can see the new instance has come online and is now available to configure to act as a jump host to the private database. In order to reach the database, we'll need the private DNS name, which is available right here in the console. So I'm going to copy that. Now we'll configure Remote.It to act as a jump host. I'm going to add a service. I can choose Postgres, MySQL, whatever I have. That's the active port. And then here I'm going to paste the private DNS name of the database, the target database I want to reach using Remote.It. So that's going to register. That service will come online, and then I'll be able to use this connection. Remote.It's going to give me an IP and port that I can use. I can bookmark that in my MySQL client or use it programmatically. I just click on that service. There's my IP, there's my port. So I'm going to copy that address and port, and now I can set up that connection in my MySQL database client. So there's the localhost address, the Remote.It generated port, and now I can connect on demand anytime I need to from anywhere using that IP and port. And there you have it. Now, what's really interesting about this is if we go back and take a look at the VM instance we launched at Azure and its networking setup, you can see we don't have any open ports to the internet. And without any open ports to the internet, we don't need to use an IP whitelist to protect those ports because there aren't any open. So it's going to greatly simplify the management of access to these databases for your developers. The only inbound rules or allowed traffic we have to that VM must originate inside the VNet. These are default rules added by Azure. Otherwise, all inbound traffic is denied. So there's no attack surface available to the internet.